Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. This time we're going to be looking at Salty Dog Recruit AI. It's a script that allows you to spawn in AIs to kind of help you along with your missions and stuff, or whatever it is that you want to do with the AIs. Right, let's take a look. So, first thing you're going to do is head to my Dropbox and download this folder right here, the Salty Dogs folder, and then over on the right hand side we have the what's inside that folder. So you have 5 files here, the two of which you don't really need. You don't really need these two. You need the README and the 2 top files. Right. Thing you're going to do after that is head to wherever your server is installed. Mine is in my mine is on one of my drives. I'm using my Cherno map again today, so this will be the server that I'm running. Yours will look kind of something similar to this, how it's set up, if not the same, if not maybe a little bit different. But right, let's have a look. So the first thing I'm going to do is we are going to head into the exile server on this right hand side. So the exile server, we're going to click into that, then add-ons, and you're going to have this here, the exad underscroll and then dv. We are going to head to the exile server in our actual server itself, in our add-ons, and we are going to copy and paste this file on the right hand side into your add-ons folder. As you can see, mine is right there. Now if you've already got this in your folder, don't worry, you can just go ahead and skip this part. It's just it allows you to spawn like the quad bikes in, and yeah, the AI troops, and also the dogs as well. If you do have that in here already, just go ahead and leave that how it is. It's completely fine. The file's exactly the same. You don't need to change it. But if you haven't got it in there, then just go ahead and drag and drop it in there, or copy and paste it in there, whichever you prefer. Right, next thing we're going to do is we are going to head back to where our server is installed, and we're going to head down to MP missions. We're going to double tap into MP missions, and you're going to unpack your trusted PBO with PBO Manager. Obviously I'm going to use Chernarus Redux, like I said a minute ago. Obviously you're going to right click PBO Manager, and then go down to the bottom link and unpack your PBO. Then it will come into a folder like this if you use the bottom link here. Obviously, bear in mind, guys, just go ahead and keep an original just in case, a backup file. This is your last working PBO that you know definitely worked and came off your server when it worked. Just go ahead and keep that just as a backup, guys. You know, it only takes like a little comma or something just to fuck your whole server up, and then you'll be glad you've got that backup. So just go ahead and make a folder. It won't affect your gameplay in any way. Just right click, new folder, call it originals, backups, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Right, so I'm going to go into my Chernarus Redux, and yours is going to look something similar to this, if not pretty much the same. Let me go back into this one. Right, so from Exile Mission here, we're going to have these 2 files right here. Obviously, to get this working, you have to have exad client installed. This is in another video of mine that I installed all this on. So if you haven't got it installed, then go ahead and make sure you watch that video and install it. If not, this is pointless. So right, first thing I'm going to do is we are going to head over here, and in the exad client we're going to click in there, then XMA apps and units. The units we're going to copy. We're going to come over here to our exad client. We're going to click on the XMA, then apps, and then we're going to paste units into here. Obviously I've already got that in here. I don't need to do that because I've already tested it all to make sure it works. Excuse me, got a bit of a croaky voice today. Right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back, and we are going to head to the description.ext, and in here you are going to come to this part here, your show HUD, and you are going to change this commanding menu to true. It'll probably be on false. If it's not on false, then you don't need to change this. You need this on true though. You need your commanding menu, or else this is absolutely pointless. Your people will just, well, your AIs will just stand there and follow you around. You can't order them. So after you've done that, go ahead and change that to true. Hit save. Get out of description, and just get out of that a second. There we go. Then what we're going to do is, oops, excuse me. Not the best today. Right, so we're going to go into the config here, and inside this config, it's going to tell us to, obviously we need to go to the config.cpp. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go into config.cpp. I will try and move this over. Oh, wrong side. I just close that again. Open. Move that over that side. Yep, there we go. Right. So then obviously normally this is how I work with the server file here and whatever it is I'm installing on the right hand side. So right, what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the class XM8, and if we go all the way down to the bottom, because it's near the bottom, virtual garage, right, here we go. So the first thing you're going to do is where it says extra apps, you're going to put the units into here. So you're going to copy this. Oops, don't want to do that. There we go. Copy, and we're going to paste it at the front. You might not have dogs. Yours will probably start from examp info. Just go ahead and paste it at the beginning, and then make sure you put a dash on the end, or a comma, or whatever it's called. I think it's comma, but yeah, just make sure you put the dash and then space, and just make sure it looks something similar to this. Once you've done that, we will go ahead and come back over to the right hand side here, and we will copy this part here. Copy. We're going to head down, and you're going to copy it underneath the last one that you have on this what's this part, the EXAD info. So it's like where you have all your quad bikes and maybe a Mosey if you've got that on there. If you followed the dog tutorial, then you'll have the dog one on here. But yeah, it's just down the bottom here. Just go to the last one, press enter, and then hit Control V, obviously if you've copied it, and it will be here. Once you've done that part, we are going to come back over to the right hand side, and we are going to copy this part here, and we're going to go a bit further down this time. And as you can see, all these have got numbers on them. This is app 1, app 2, app 3, app 4, app 5. Now with mine I had 2 gaps. I had before I put the dog script in, I had the where are they? There's the dog one. There we go. Yeah. So right, I had the I had 7 and 8 free. So if you do have this free, then just go ahead and copy paste it in underneath the last one. So always make sure the numbers are going up. Obviously I've put a question mark in where it says XMate app and then question mark. Obviously that question mark would be your number. Whatever it is that your number is next, just go ahead and write, make sure you put a 08 or a 07 or 06 or a 05, whatever number one it is next. I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure that your number will be 07. If you haven't put the dog one on, it will be 07. Okay, but you will have to check this. This does obviously go all the way down to 14. Excuse me. This obviously does go all the way down to 14. You can add on as well. So like obviously just come down the bottom. I'll just put this in just for argument's sake. You know, I'll Control V and then I would type 15. Okay, so let's say it looks something similar to that. Obviously don't go doing that because yours would be up here somewhere. I'm just showing this as a reference. But yeah, I'll just get rid of that part. There we go. Whoops, don't want 2 of them. See, something as little as that would throw your whole server out. But yeah, after you've done that though, just go ahead and click save. we can now get out of that. And that is pretty much it for that, I think. Yep, let's have a look at the readme. I'll put a little readme in here as well. Yep, everything's done. So next thing we're going to do is we are going to repack our PBO, and obviously make sure you keep an original just in case. Just right click on your folder, go to PBO manager and top link. Obviously load your server up, and I will give you a quick glance of how it looks. This is obviously my server. My server is on. So yeah, let's take a look. Where's the server? There it is. Right, so I've got a tank, and in fact don't even need the tank. Right, so this is my man. If you was just to spawn, you obviously need beef parts. If you go into your XM8, press 6, and you can see you have a recruit soldier here. Obviously it tells you here requires ×1 beef parts needed, so therefore just go ahead and get yourself some beef parts. I think I've got some more still. Yep, we've still got 3 more. Obviously if you just spawn the man in, he will follow you around and he will shoot, but obviously you cannot command him there. So what you need to do is press exit, go down to config, go to controls, and we need to go to let me think, infantry movement, commands. Yes, commands. Go to commands and go to select unit 1, and you need to put something in here. I've used left control and I think it's semicolon. The little it's next to your, well, you can all see it there. It's like a little upwards dash. I've used them, so it will bring up the menu. Just go ahead and put that in. If you haven't got anything on your F1, obviously I have my, oh shit, don't do that. Obviously I have Infostar on F1. You could probably put it as F2 or F3 or something, but obviously I've got other things with Infostar on them. But if you haven't got anything on them keys, then just go ahead and keep it with F1, or set it to something that you know you can quickly press. But right, anyway, if I press Control and semicolon, it brings up the menu on the top left hand corner, and then we can select team. To select team, we would press the spacebar, and then we would go up to team again, press spacebar. You can use your middle scroll wheel as well, and obviously click with your middle scroll wheel, and it will let you do stuff that way as well. Obviously this little icon comes up, and you can tell them to move, stop, hold fire, supports, yeah, whatever else. I mean, if we get him to move there, if we press our middle scroll, he will start running. If I get into a vehicle, you can get them to get into vehicles. So like now I can press Control semicolon, and I can click teams, then I can click team again, white, and I can say get in, and he will get in just like that when he comes over. There we go, and he will now be in the gunner seat. Obviously I can drive around and stuff, and he will shoot anything that's around. We can also, I think we can make him yeah, we can make him disembark, we can make him hold fire. Obviously if you've got more than one person as well, because you can spawn in multiples. If I just press just get him out of there a minute, disembark, and if we go ahead and spawn another guy in, obviously if your man doesn't spawn in, that is because you haven't got the EXAD PBO in your exile server. It won't show up. But right, as you can see, we've now got 2 guys, and we can control these 2 guys to obviously move up if we need them to. So let's make a move all the way up there, and they will both move up. They will both fire if they need to fire, and you can circle around while these guys are taking fire and giving some fire back. They do you know, they are pretty good. They are aimbot AIs, as we call them. But yeah, that's pretty much it with that, guys. I hope you did like. If you did, please make sure you give it a big fat thumbs up. If you do get stuck, head over to my Discord channel. The link for that is up the top of my YouTube page on the right hand side. Little link for it right next to the big fat donations button. As they say, my time is your money, plus it keeps me off of work, so therefore I can do more videos. So right, guys, I will see you in the next video. See you later.